Hi, Jerry. Who's Jerry?
Cat.
Oh, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, did you happen to have a read of today's book?
Hey?
Did you read it?
Yes, I read it.
Okay. Just give me a second. I just need to get my answers quickly. The book. What was today's book? Can you remember? Meeting My Family, I think it was.
I thought it was a story talking about their thinking.
Meet
Like
My Family.
introducing their family, a boy or a girl introducing their family. But I was very surprised that it was not introducing their family. It was like comparing their family.
Well, in a way, it was introducing their family. It's also just really comparing family dynamics. So, I mean, it's not wrong. Okay, so let's look at question number 1. Can you read it for me?
How were Julian and David's families the same? How were they different?
And how do you think those families were the same?
They were saying that
What kind of similarities did they have, do you think? It might not have been very obvious in the book, but if you can just think of how they are as a family, even though some of them are like not too many in the family and the others have a lot in the family, what do you think they would have like in common? What would be similar?
their son Julian and David's tendency are same.
Yes. Okay. So they have common interests.
Yes.
Okay. So that's their friendship. But if we can think of how are they families the same? What kind of things do you think would be the same?
The families.
Well, let's think about it. Okay. So even though they have very different households, you have one household that doesn't have a lot of people, that's quite quiet. And then you have the larger family, which has a bit more like, seems like a chaotic, even though it's a good kind of chaos dynamic going on. They are both very family orientated. So even though Julian comes from a small family, they like to do things together. So if you think of the mom and the dad cooking dinner together, they do the same in the bigger family. So they are both different, but they both have the same sort of family values.
Yes, I think they're same. And I think it is same that they are originated from Spain.
Yes. Okay.
I think they both originated from Spain, and I think their ancestors would be Spanish.
Okay. So that's another similarity. And how do you think they were different?
I think the most different thing is that their family size is very different.
And what about their kind of living environments? How do you think that is different? So you've got Julian's side that is small. It's a small house and it's just the 3 of them.
Yes, right. David's house are big and yellow, and I think it has second floor, and there I think it was more than 5 people.
Yes. Okay, so they differ in the size of the family. They also differ, if you think about it, the environment. So if you go over to Julian's house, it's very quiet. Everything's very neat. Everything has its place. Whereas if you go to David's house, there is a lot going on. There's a lot of people. Everyone's doing a lot of things. So there's probably a lot of noise. So for Julian, who's going over to a household like that, that seems really fun. And then for David, who's constantly got noise and people around, he really enjoys going to Julian's house because it's quiet. So that's how they differ in environments. Okay, so let's have a look at what you had to say. If you can please read that for me.
They were saying that their son Julian and David had same tendency and their family originated from Spain, but they were different in numbers of family, the size of houses.
Okay, good job. Let's break this down. Is your cat hungry?
No, he sometimes cries because he wants to go out.
Is he not allowed outside? Is it too cold?
Yes, but he still wants to go out because he remembers the hot
weather, the warm weather.
Yes, summer.
Oh dear. Jerry, you need to go sleep, boy. It's too cold. Okay, let's have a look. So they were the same, that their sons, okay, we could just say tense. Julian and David had, we could say, the same tendencies. Okay. And their families originated from Spain. Okay, when we are talking about a place, what do we need to use?
Capital letter.
Good job. Okay, so we must always have a capital letter. Okay, let me just copy this quickly. Okay, so we say they were the same, that their sons, Julian and David, had the same tendency. And their families originated from Spain. Okay, we just need capital. Okay, let's try that one out.
They were different from their sons. Julian and David had the same tendencies and their families originated from Spain, but they were different in numbers of family, the size of houses.
Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So that was also good. But they were different in, we could say, they were different in numbers. Okay, so let's rearrange the sentence a bit. Okay, let's have a look at what we can do here. I understand exactly what you're saying, but let's see how we can correct that just a little bit. Okay, so we can say, but they were different in, we can say their sizes or size of family. Okay. And the size of their houses. Okay, so that needs a pronoun. Okay, let's try just that sentence there for me, please.
but they were different in their size of family and the size of their houses.
Okay, good job. So, where does Jerry get to roam? Just around the house.
Yes.
Does he have any toys? Maybe he's bored.
No, he is like he roams the house every play.
Okay. And do you play with him? Do you use like toys and stuff?
No, he plays himself and he.
Dude, that poor cat. You need to play with him. He's literally shouting at you like, play with me.
Sometimes crazy and he runs the life. Crazy.
Up and down. You know what I call that? I call that the zoomies. Dogs and cats do that. So they go a little bit crazy bananas sometimes and they just run up and down. They have too much energy. Okay, let's have a look at question number 2. If you can read that.
Do you like the size of your family? Why or why not? Yes, because I did not feel any inconvenience with the size of family.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. Inconvenience. So you would never want a larger family?
Yes, I think it is too noisy.
Okay, so you like being an only child.
Yes.
Okay.
Not only child, but I think 3 my families are too much.
Okay. So would you like to have a brother or a sister?
It is not necessary, but
okay. At least you've got a lot of cousins, so if you do feel a little bit lonely or like you need company, you can just visit with your cousins. At least that's still family.
Yes,
okay.
But I think family means that you live together.
No, not necessarily. They are your family. I have a very big family. We don't all live together. I think if we did, we would all go crazy because it's just too many of us.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you said yes because I didn't feel any inconvenience with the size of my family. Let's have a look. Yes, because I don't. Let's say I don't. That's the only change. Okay. If you can read that for me so long, please.
Okay. Yes, because I didn't feel any inconvenience with the size of the family.
Okay, great job. Let's just get mine quickly. You know what we did? I completely forgot to do my alternative in question 1. See, this is what happens when you only have one computer screen. You get confused. Okay, if you could read mine for me.
I love the size of my family. I grew up in a household with 3 older siblings. I always felt like I had someone around, so I was never lonely. I felt protected and thankful that I had older sisters to teach me new things and always look out for my well-being. Today I am married and have 3 children with lots of nieces and nephews. We are all really close in our relationships, and I would not trade my family for anything in the world.
Absolutely. So we come from a very big family. Okay, let me just go back quickly and grab my alternative for question number 1. I think we discussed it so nicely, but then I just completely forgot. So sorry about that.
Okay.
I've got too many tabs open on my computer. That's how my brain feels sometimes too. Okay, let's have a look. You can read that for me.
Julian's and David's families were the same in that they are all very family orientated.
Good job.
They are all treated with love, and they are all thankful for the families that they have. The differences are to do with size, and family dynamics within the household. Julian's household was quieter and neater, giving a calm feeling, and David's was busy, with people always taking in parts of activities, which can at times seem a little chaotic.
Yep.
They were both able to enjoy each other's different environments for this reason.
Okay, great job. So I just wanted to change that with people always taking part in activities. Okay, so that's how I thought they were. Let's move straight on to number 3. Okay. Excuse me. What is the lesson of the story? What did you think?
I think the lesson of the story is that family can be different from what you think about. So,
And okay, continue.
like if you think family should like blah blah, but the correct meaning, the meaning of the family can be different. Like even it is not human, an animal or pet could be their family, or even you're not married, a friend living with you can be your family.
Okay.
So I think the family's meaning can be different, and family size are not regulated.
Okay.
They're not in family.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. So it's not necessarily that it has to be a family by blood, or as you say, that it even needs to be another person. It could be animals, it could be a roommate or a friend. So that's your takeaway, that things don't always have to be the same for everyone to be considered family. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good idea. Let's have a look. If you can read it.
What is the lesson of the story? The lesson of the story is that family can be different from what you think that family should like blah blah.
Oh, so that's your blah blah sign.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can't finish off a sentence with blah blah. Just so you know. But I get it. Let me just copy this. So you could say the lesson of a story is that families can, okay, so let's take B out, can differ from what, okay, it needs to be differ from what you think their family should be. So we can take out like, or you could even keep it in. Let's take it out. So let's try this. Okay, and we finish a sentence off with the what? What do we finish a sentence with?
Period.
Good job. Okay. Family. Lesson of the stories is that families can differ from what you think the family should be. Okay, let's try that one.
The lesson of the story is that families differ from what you think that family should be.
Okay, good job. I like your thought process. Very good. Let me get my last answer here. It's not as long as the previous one. Okay, let's give that a go.
The lesson of the story is that sometimes we may take what we have in our lives for granted, although it is often refreshing to have a change of scenery and wish we had different lives. There is so much to be grateful for in our own lives and families.
Good job. So if we think back to the story, they both enjoyed the different dynamics so much because they had, so let's take for example David, there's constant noise, he doesn't have his own space, and then he goes over to Julian's house and he's like, wow, everything has its own place, you know, he's not having to share his space with his brothers, it's very quiet. And at the end of the story, they are both sitting there thinking, maybe we should switch lives. And then when they actually really stop to think about it, they're like, but our families would miss us too much, and they would miss their families too much as well. So although it's nice to have a change of scenery and, you know, kind of enjoy that space, I think they also realized at the end that, you know, they might be taking what they have for granted, because at the end they didn't really want to leave their families. So I think sometimes it's easier to get caught up in what we think our lives should be or how we think our families should be instead of enjoying what it already is. So that was a very good job today. Well done. Okay, you need to go and play with your cat because that cat is so bored. I'm going to start calling you Jerry because that's your name now on Zoom. Okay. Well, thank you much for today, Jihu. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a really good weekend.
Bye.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Bye.